Fuckers, how's it going? It's Mastodon here, and welcome to episode 30 of the MastoCast, the monoblog podcast hosted by me. The podcast where I talk about all stupid shit, like music and video games and stuff that's going on in my life and all that sort of carry on. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a nice weekend if you listen to this on the Friday that it comes out. We are episode 30 of the MastoCast, and we've also made it past 200 listens as well throughout all of the episodes that have been going on. So, yes, thank you very much, everyone who has listened to us over the past 6 months. Yeah, I think about 6 months. So, yeah, really, really appreciate all your support and listening and everything, sharing the podcast, that sort of thing, asking questions. 30 episodes, it's been a blast. So we made episode 30 rather special because I'm joined once again by Jake Carr Smith, who was on episode 6, I believe, and we did our top 5 favourite bands of all time. So now we are doing our top 5 favourite albums, and we had a good blast, we had a good chat, and yeah, hope you enjoy it. The first episode I done with him had the most plays, so maybe all of Jake fans are back again. I don't know for this one, but yeah, it's good to be having him back. We had a good chat, so without further ado, let's get on with the podcast. Our top 5 favourite albums of all time. Take it away. Bye. Hello, Jake.
Hello.
He's back. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm alright, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We've just been saying I haven't really been up to much since Christmas.
No.
Main thing was the Bring Me gig 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Manchester you at, weren't you?
Manchester, yeah.
Yeah. How did it go for you?
I assume it was probably the same set list that you got. I must admit I haven't listened to your podcast yet, so I don't know exactly what you said, so it'll be interesting to see if...
Don't blame you. Fair enough.
I did say yet. I haven't listened to it yet. So I didn't get in to see Static Dress, but I'm not too fussed on them anyway.
No, you're not.
Nah, I don't really see the appeal.
Yeah. I quite like Static Dress. I really like them a lot. I've seen them live like a handful of times, like just being on festivals and stuff like that. But in Newcastle, they were very, very quiet.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. First band don't have a 4-band, but it's never going to go.
Oh no,
well,
definitely not. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen them absolutely smash festivals before. Like at Slam Dunk last year, they were probably one of the bands of the day.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I was surprised they were on first. So yeah, anyway, I didn't see them. I didn't see Cassie yet either because I think that's a bit of nonsense as well.
Yeah, I said last week, like, Cassie yet, just an L for me.
Yeah.
Not good for me.
Speaking of L's, I saw Bad Omens.
Finally, someone who I agree with.
I just don't get it. I was sat there, I was watching it, and first of all, I will say that I've never seen, well, apart from when I saw Metallica, I've never seen that arena so full. Like, it was rammed top to bottom.
Newcastle was mental,
and even for Bad Omens, it was packed, and everyone seemed to be into it, or at least sort of enjoying it. But I don't know. I just don't get it. I was watching it and I was thinking, what? Nothing like they had no choruses popped or just nothing. It was just like
nothing for me now.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't get it.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I don't think they did bad particularly. Like they had a good like production.
It was very professional and it sounded good and stuff, but it's just, I'm more talking about the quality of the
professional.
Yeah,
like it was just very machine like lots of backing and but you were right. Like at Newcastle, like I was standing and I was looking all around me and there was not an empty seat.
In
the house.
That was rammed, and obviously
rammed.
Manchester's about double the size of Newcastle as well, isn't it? I think the arena.
21, I think it is. Yeah,
21k Manchester, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, not for me. Bad Omens, I don't understand it.
Same.
But no, Bring Me the Horizon, my class. I thought when it first came out, I thought there's a big sort of gap on the stage where Jordan Fish would normally be.
Yeah, it was a bit,
and it looked a bit odd, and sort of missed his backing vocals a bit. There was another guy doing them, wasn't there? But it wasn't as good. But no, I think once they got into it, it was. I wouldn't say it was as good as the Download show because that was special, wasn't it? That was
right. I mean, I'd say it was probably on par with Download.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose because I was like right in like the standing.
Yeah, I was seated for Bring. We had pretty good seats, but sitting down at gig rules. So
To be fair, yeah, hard agree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why I didn't go for seats, to be honest. But like,
that's all we could get. We got the pre-sale, and like there was all my mates were there, and we were all sat in different areas.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Ah man, never mind.
But no, it was good. It was good. Yeah, I mean, I still think for me, and I know it's just because I'm a big Grebo, but the Sempiternal songs are still the highlight of the set for me.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Definitely.
That album, I was a 10-year-old now, and that was a game changer of an album. I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh god.
bands are still trying to sound like that and
Yeah.
failing. And
Oh yes.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's that's my favorite album by them as well. And just like properly shaped up like metalcore back then for me, and like it was mad because like before that album I was just like, they're never gonna get anywhere, are they?
Well, they were a bit of a
It's
laughing stock, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, they were definitely.
Up until maybe the album before, people started thinking there was something there, but then that album really sort of kicked it on for them. I had a little look at the set list before I went, and I noticed there was a strategic piss pause of back to back. It was Die For You, and
yeah,
I can't remember what the other song was, but I was like, I'm not into either of these songs. So
The
that's
Strangers.
no, because I don't mind Strangers.
Yeah. That
That
was probably the only dip for me, like
Yeah.
just acoustic Strangers thing.
I see that, yeah, a bit cheesy. I didn't mind that though, but quality, just like massive band now, aren't they, with a big arena show?
Did you throw your diamonds in the sky for
No,
Diamonds Are Forever? Fucking loved it. I did.
It's good that they still do that, isn't it? They could easily just ignore it completely, so at least they do something.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything from that album at all, like a download. But like when they chucked it in.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
I've seen them do. I saw them a few years ago. They did like a medley of early stuff,
Yeah.
but the crowd just was flat for it. So I can see why they don't do that stuff now. But
Yeah.
But yeah, good crack.
Yeah.
Good show.
For sure. What's your next one? You know.
Next gig.
Next gig, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be Silosis with you in Leeds.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going less and less gigs these days
Because it's bloody expensive.
they're getting ridiculous. I know. So like the Anthrax tour,
Yeah.
tickets start 60 quid.
Are they actually? Fuck off.
Before fees for like. Yeah, and then it's like that big sort of gap between Manchester and Glasgow that just doesn't exist apparently.
Yeah, I
But
know.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it?
Yep.
Aye, never mind.
Yep.
Anyways, probably should have said, welcome to the podcast. Today, Jake's here again. We're doing another top 5 thing. Last time he was here, we did our top 5 bands, which was
I'm a list boy.
Same here. And actually, the top played episode of the podcast as a whole.
Millions and millions of fans.
Yeah, absolutely millions. Yeah, absolutely. Joe Rogan's shaking in his boots right now. Big Sal. So, watch out for this one, because we're doing top 5 albums now. So, yeah, as coming up with your top 5, has it always been like a top 5 in your head, or did you have to like draft one?
No, I mean, because I am a list boy, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
I've got like a running list on my phone of what I would
Same.
consider my favourite albums. I know it's a bit sad, but and it hasn't changed much for the last however long. Yeah, so it's
Since your love of lists began.
yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose, but I've my top 5, well, with the exception of one, has pretty much been my top 5 for years now. Just albums that have stuck with me, I suppose. But so yeah, it wasn't particularly. Number 5 was the most difficult, so I've gone with a bit of a curveball for that because. Should we start? Should we just get into it? Now I've mentioned my 5. We'll start with it.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Unless do you want to list any runners up or like that? Or
Yeah, I can do. That's a good idea.
Because I've actually got a top 20.
I've probably got 10, 15, something like that. So ones that missed out. So I've got Alexis on Fire, Old Crows, Young Cardinals. Love that album.
Good.
Definitely my favourite album by them, but didn't make the cut. Clutch, Blast Tyrant.
Oh,
Absolute banger, but again,
riffs.
it's not quite making the 5. Sempiternal, as we mentioned. Permission to Land by the Darkness was probably the one that got cut for my number 5, so that would probably be my number 6 if we were doing that. Absolute banger. Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Yes.
One of the best albums ever. Rage Against the Machine, self-titled, another one that could have been my number 5, but just missed out. Tool, 10,000 Days, didn't make it. All Lateralis or any Tool album, didn't make it in my top 5.
Blimey.
Yeah, that's all I've got written down, but there'll be more. But
Jesus. Oh, fair enough. There's some big hitters in there that I would have probably considered to be in your 5.
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
thought there might be.
Yeah. For me, one of them that missed out on mine.
Oh yeah,
the chocolate starfish hot dog flavored water.
Yeah,
that missed out.
Yeah, that would be in my top.
Yeah,
10 to 15 for sure. Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Incredible album. Probably one of the most recent ones, Glow On by Turnstile. That missed out because that's one of the best albums that's come out this decade, I think.
Oh yeah.
Whatever people say I am, that is what I'm not by the Arctic Monkeys. Their first album.
Okay.
A fan? No. No, fair enough.
No.
Black is Beautiful, Let Live, that missed out. The Shape of Punk to Come. As you mentioned there, Permission to Land by The Darkness.
Yeah.
One of the best debut albums ever.
Yeah.
Hours by Funeral for a Friend. Rainbow Rising.
Oh yeah.
That's my favourite. It's incredible by them. The Blackening by Machine Head. They gutted me to not put that in there. Toxicity, System of a Down, Lateralis, as you mentioned. Power Slave Maiden. Scenes from a Memory Dream Theatre. Raya by Oathbreaker for the all sad black gaze-ness, and one that just missed out, Underneath by Code Orange.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
those are the ones I missed out.
We've done our guesses for each other's top 5, haven't we? And I think based on what you've just said, I might be on the money.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay then. Do you want to go first then?
Yeah.
Your number 5.
Yeah. So you mentioned it. So I thought about this, and I thought all my albums, my top 5 albums that I had in the list were over 10-year-old, and I thought get something new in there, just to mix it up a bit. So it's Turnstile, Glow On.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. It's been out 2 years?
Yeah.
2021, I think it came out. Has not been an album in recent memory that's sort of stuck with me as much as that album has. I couldn't even really describe what it is that makes it so brilliant.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I like hardcore. I'm not the biggest hardcore fan, but I do like hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of,
it's more than hardcore.
yeah,
really,
it's everything that's good about hardcore with a whole load more stuck on top, but not in a way that sounds in any way sort of like it shouldn't be there, or just an incredible album.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's mad, like, because with that album, like, they've got so much bigger off it as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Glastonbury and what have you. And
yeah, I just saw they're doing a collab with Converse shoes, so there's like Turnstile Converse coming out.
Look quite good, actually.
Yeah.
But
like, yeah. So that's how big they're getting. Probably well on the way to being the biggest hardcore band ever, I would say.
Probably, yeah, definitely. I know they headlined Outbreak a couple of years ago, but I think they might be too big for Outbreak now.
Well, they've done what, like Brixton in London, which is odd. No, did they do Brixton? No,
Yeah, they did. Well, what happened was, I think they had Roundhouse, and because that sold out like hotcakes, they had Brixton alongside that as well, which is mental, and they sold both of them out.
Yeah, and they've done that Warehouse thing in Manchester, I think. Although with the schedule to play, I don't know whether that got cancelled. But yeah, I don't think any other hardcore bands playing venues that size.
Yeah, it's mad, and like that. You're at the same Leeds gig as I was as well. It was just like, as I've seen Turnstile ever since Non-Stop Feeling, the first album, like when they played The Brood and Hell at Leeds, and they played Outbreak 2015, and just now they're just absolutely captivating live, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, God. Like,
yeah, one of the best live bands around at the minute.
Amazing. I want to see them again so bad. Like, they should play Download again, or at least just do another UK tour, probably.
Yeah, I don't think they're not gonna be on the Download bill now, are they? I wouldn't have thought. I don't think there's a slot for them now, is there? I don't know. But
possibly second stage headliner.
I think all the headliners are announced. If you look at at the thing, I think Bad Omens are doing it.
Yeah.
And Limp Bizkit and Pantera, maybe. Yeah,
I think that those might be the second stage headliners.
Yeah, so I don't think Turnstile will be playing this year, but yeah, I agree. I really want to see him again live. But yeah, my number 5 will be Turnstile. Go on.
What's your favourite song from it? They're all so good.
I know, yeah. But I like New Heart Design, which is like the sort of jangly, The Cure style one.
Oh yeah, just flipping all the like jangly guitar ones are so good.
Yeah, and that not really the sort of thing that I like, but for some reason I just when they do it, I just love it. And
just bops.
Yeah, and obviously Holiday is just a banger. But
yeah, for me it's Holiday. Like that's my favorite.
It's class.
It's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good number 5. I'm glad you picked that one. To be fair, yeah, one of the best albums that's come out in recent years. My number 5, I mentioned the band on my top 5 bands of all time. Just a band that have grown on me and grown on me and grown on me so much over the years, and so has this album. And they are the best live band I've ever seen, and it's Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. It's just a depressing electronic mess that I love. And but every time I listen to it, it's one of those where like every time you listen to it, you hear something new. Like if you've got like a good pair of headphones, like there's some little fluctuations and stuff like that, and you know, bits and bobs, like more on like the electrical side of things, or like bits of like Trent's backing vocals going somewhere that's just it just goes off. Like it's just an incredible album, like front to back. Like it's one of them albums I can't just like pick a random track. I have to start from the beginning and finish it.
Yeah, that's one of the few albums I've heard by them. I'm still not 100% clicked with that band yet.
Yeah,
and it will happen one day. It will happen, but not yet. But yeah, I think that's one of the 2 or 3 albums I've heard by them, and it is good.
Yeah.
It's quite long, isn't it? Quite a long album. Over an hour. Is it over an hour, I would say?
You know what? I don't know. I've got the Spotify up here, and I think it might just be under an hour.
Is it?
'Cause it for me it's like, because the Fragile that comes after it, that's like an hour and 45 minutes, something like that.
An hour and 5.
Well, there you go.
Unless
then.
unless the Johnny Cash cover wasn't originally on it, and that's just an addition. I don't know. But.
No, that's not a cover. That's their.
Sorry,
that's their original.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people get wrong.
No, I knew. Do you know what? I knew that as well. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the album's just like so varied as well. Like so many different like heavier songs and more like chilled ones and horny ones. Safe to say. But
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
for me,
March of the Pigs, is it? I think.
Yeah, March of the Pigs. That's one that kicked off. Not when I saw them at Glasgow. Just especially like, you know, the bit where it goes heavy and then has that little piano bit like, doesn't it make you feel better? And then there's a pause, and then everyone just waits for that pause to finish, and as soon as it goes da 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 da, everyone just crashes into each other.
Yeah.
Just amazing, just an amazing masterpiece. Just. It's kind of like giving me a bit more of a love for like electronic sort of music as well. Like the stuff he does with synths and all that is just amazing. All the sounds he gets. Yeah, it's just a band for me have just been revolutionary for me. Yeah, Trent Reznor is an absolute goat. So the Downward Spiral, my number 5.
Nice.
It's depressing and horny.
Nice. Yeah, I thought that might be in there.
Oh.
Right, number 4. I think you mentioned it as well. Machine Head, The Blackening.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
I think Machine Head were probably number 4 or 5 in my top bands as well.
Yeah, I think I remember you doing that.
Yeah, so I was getting into like rock music and then into metal music and sort of onto heavier stuff, and around the time that this came out, so it's sort of like the perfect album to sort of hear around that time.
Oh, for sure.
It's just everything that I love about metal music done to the absolute best. Hands down their best album, I think.
Yeah, for me as well, definitely.
Yeah. Sort of, I would say it's the first time they ever went sort of like pure like thrash, I would say.
Yeah.
They went through that weird new metal phase, and then they sort of teased it a bit on Through the Ashes of Empires, but then this album was sort of like just a step up on that completely.
Yeah. Like the first couple of albums are more sort of like groove metal as well.
Yeah,
that type of thing. But yeah, like Machine Head were a weird one for me because I never liked them back in the day because I never used to like screamy vocals or anything like when they supported Metallica in 2009. Like I just couldn't give a toss about them, and they were touring the Blackening, and I regret not watching them back then. It was just
yeah, I saw that was good. I think we spoke about it last time, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah. To be fair,
yeah. No, I just think it's top to bottom. It's just like no skips on that album.
No, not at all.
Again, another probably peaks an hour, that album, doesn't it? I would say.
I think it does, yeah. And it's only about like 7 or 8 tracks, isn't it?
Yeah. So looking now, it's an hour 13, but that's got the Maiden and Metallica covers on the bottom of it. So
is it
probably going to be just about an hour long, but.
Is it Hallowed Be Thy Name and Battery?
Battery, yeah.
Yeah, Hallowed Be Thy Name cover's quite good, actually.
Yeah, it is. Battery is as well. But yeah, I mean, it starts with like 11, 12 minute song, Clenching the Fists, which is just like probably the best song on there.
Best opener ever. Yeah, I think that is my favourite one as well.
Yeah, I mean,
either that or Halo.
Halo's an all timer, isn't it? And then like Wolves.
Yeah.
Tune.
Oh, incredible! I just love. To be fair, I love the outro of Clenching the Fist as well. Just like that riff that just goes over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very formative album for me.
Oh, I love it. And to be fair, like when I started getting into Machine Head, it was on Onto the Locust. Like that's when I started having some sense and being like, oh, they're actually pretty good. Maybe I should listen to the Blackening. And that's when I was fully in on them. I was just like, oh my god, this band are incredible.
Onto the Locust, sort of an attempt at recreating that, and not quite as good. It's not. I don't think it's a disaster. I think it's
not as bad as what people make it out to be.
It's a solid 8 out of 10, but
yeah,
it's just not on the level. But I don't think they'll ever be on that level again, which is fair enough because
yeah, I can't expect them to go any better than that. Like really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. They've made absolutely sensational album. They're never going to top it.
Yeah.
But they'll be really great when you see them live.
Yeah.
Which they always are.
Artwork's cool as hell as well.
Yeah. So no, you've already said your favourite song. So yeah, Clenching the Fist of Descent or Halo.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I'm the same. But between them two, I can never pick either of them. But, yeah. Really, really is. I think that's probably like the best lineup of band members I've had as well.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Because like they've had a few different drummers and bass players and guitar players, like from Burn My Eyes and all that. But like Dave McClain on the drums is like probably the most technical one they've had, and I loved what's his name who played guitar?
Phil Demmel.
Phil Demmel, yeah, he's a sick guitar player as well.
Yeah, he's in he's gone back to the band he was in initially, hasn't he?
Yeah, I forgot the name.
Can't remember the call now. Yeah, they played Bloodstock a few years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 4, Blackening, the Blackening Machine Head.
Very good shout. Very good shout. Right, my number 4 is I heard this album when I got it for Christmas in 2005.
Is it Nickelback?
I used to I used to play Habbo Hotel to this album, and I never thought that you could mix prog and emo together, and
Coy and Camry.
There it is.
Okay. I didn't guess that, but based on what you just said, yeah.
Good Apollo and Burning Star for Volume 1 through the Eyes of Fate. I can't remember. It's a big long title. Yeah. I just call it Good Apollo and Burning Star. That's all I call it for. Like it's weird because it's their third album, but it's called Good Apollo and Burning Star 4 Volume 1 through Thea of the Eyes of Madness. Like that's the fourth album. No, sorry, it's the third album, but you called it 4. It's weird.
Is it the third?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to have a snappy album title, haven't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. like whatever people say, I'm not as well. I'm not by my Arctic Monkeys. But yeah, it's mad. Like, but the first time I heard this song, "Welcome Home," it was just like, because like like the mid noughties was round about new metal era. Well, actually no, post new metal era. It was more like metalcore, like Killswitch Engage and all that was popping off, both my Valentine and everything. And like when I used to like sit and watch Kerrang back in the day, and I heard this little acoustic guitar riff that went dun, 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 and then then next thing you see is this dude with massive hair
His hair's
with a
great.
double neck SG playing that riff full of pinch harmonics, like this song full of like orchestral instruments like popping off.
Yeah,
And-
I was actually thinking about this song the other day. I was thinking if we ever did like a top 5 riffs or something, that would be in there, I think.
Oh god, so good. But like I remember seeing that video, and I remember like saying, "Can I have the album for Christmas?" And my mum said, "Yeah, okay, no worries." And I stuck it on like religiously, to the point my dad was like, "This is a good album, this." And my dad pretty much borrowed that album the entire time. He calls it his paint and decorate album because every time he paints and decorates the house, he listens to it, and like he got like properly obsessed with it, like the way I did.
Yeah.
But like, it's a long album. It's
yeah,
probably,
I just looked. It's an hour and 11.
Yeah.
Which is long. It's got that big sort of sweet bit, hasn't it? At the end?
Yeah, like the 4-part
Yeah.
sweet thing, which is incredible. It's mad because Coed and Cambria have the ability to like come up with like these really sort of emo anthemic choruses, like just incredible songwriting, but
Yeah.
can make the music like really progressive. Like
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that. Well, the Welcome Home's probably their biggest song, isn't it? Not just on his
Yeah,
album, probably
yeah.
their biggest song, and it's
In
not
general.
particularly a very good representation of what they are as a band, really, which is a bit
No.
odd. But yeah, there's some great songs on this album. Like,
yeah, I mean like The Suffering
Yeah.
as well. But like I was listening to it today, like on the lead up to this, like the acoustic intro, yeah, Keeping the Blade, just like really just sort of like builds it up into Welcome Home, and then after that, like you get all these songs with just incredible guitar riffs, guitar solos, and Claudio Sanchez's really really high voice. You look at him, you don't think fucking hell, you don't think he's got a voice that high,
No.
or goes for them sort of choruses, but it just does with like 10 speed and
yeah, it's a band.
10 speed and The Suffering, like just amazing like choruses. But then you get to like the 5-part suite towards the end where it goes full prog while still being catchy. And for me, my favorite song on the album is the last track, the final cut. It's like 7.5 minute song. It's very sort of Pink Floyd, like he does a lot of sort of Gilmore-y type leads, and it's very sort of moody. It's basically like a good heavy Pink Floyd type song, and I absolutely love it. I mean, it's quite ironic because the Pink Floyd have got an album now called The Final Cut as well. But yeah, I remember they played Download. What year was it? I think it might have been 2017 or 18, one of the two. And they were doing like a anniversary tour of that album, but obviously they were playing the second stage and they only had about 45 minutes. So like they played the best songs off that album, and they played Final Cut second last, and I was just sobbing all the way through. And then they finished with Keeping Secrets of Santa, from a different album, but like still like a fucking banger.
Yeah.
And just it was always one of them albums that I've just kept close and dear to my heart. And every time I can never get sick of it, that album at all. Just one of the best bands ever.
It's good. It's good. I think the thing that always like amazes me about that band is particularly Claudio is how many words he can fit into a song. Like,
oh no, yeah,
it's like insane verses that go on forever, but like poetry, isn't it?
Yeah,
very good. Very
definitely.
Good.
But
yeah, it's a good album.
and he can make them hooks as well.
Yeah,
like just beautiful. And like the latest albums that they're bringing out as well, they're great. Like what was the last album called? It was like
Vaxis Window of the
Vaxis.
Mind or something.
Yeah, some other long album title. But like they're a mental band really, because every album's like a concept album. It's all to do with like his
Comic
Armory thoughts, his comic thing. But I've never really gone into all that, to be honest. I just love the songs.
You don't need to though, do you? Really?
No, not really. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Coed and Cambria, just one of the best.
Good pick.
Yeah, go for your number 3, sir.
Number 3 is probably quite an obvious one. It's an album I've talked about a lot and always will take the opportunity to talk about. Is Mastodon Crack the Sky.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think Mastodon were number 3 in my bands as well.
I remember you talking about Mastodon. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just easily their best album, but they haven't done a bad album, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But this is, for me, it's like one up here somewhere. Number two's a long way behind. Just
Right.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah. For me, like, it took me a long time for me to sort of. I think, like I said on the last podcast, I didn't put my finger on what my favourite Mastodon album was until you told me to listen to the instrumental version
Yeah.
of Crack the Sky. And because I was hearing things that I've not heard before, and I thought, this is just, like, yep, okay, this is my favourite one now.
Yeah, it's the best album. It's definitely the best album. It does something that none of the others do. But I think it's one of them ones where a lot of people don't like it. Probably for the reasons that I do like it, but I think it's their most divisive album.
Yeah.
But the people who love it, I think, absolutely love it. But I've just had it on the way here just to check that I still like it as much as I do, and I definitely do.
The thing is, a lot of Mastodon fans want the riffs, don't they? So they'll go to like Leviathan or Emperor's Sand or Blood Mountain or something like that.
Yeah, but one thing I never really noticed, which I quite like about the album, is it starts with probably the most sort of proggy, spaced out song on the album. It's Oblivion, and then it goes into is it Divinations?
Divinations, yeah.
Which is like, I would imagine someone listening to that for the first time thinking, oh yeah, the sort of, that's the Mastodon I like, 'cause that's the most riffy sort of old school sounding Mastodon song, and then from there on it just sort of goes into space, doesn't it? And like, you get into like 10, 11, 12 minute songs from there on out, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Another thing I noticed as well when I was listening on the way here is it's sort of they use repetition in a way that I've never really heard a band use before. A lot of the songs sort of have like repeat refrains, and it becomes quite sort of hypnotic and makes a 13-minute song feel like a 4-minute song.
Yeah, they are very good at doing that. Like, like for me, Crack the Sky just goes in an instant as well. Like, it's it, because there's definitely like a concept behind it. I remember them in an interview saying like what it's sort of based on. I can't really remember.
It's
It's
like
like an out of body experience type.
I think it's meant to be based on like an assassin chasing you through space, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing, like concept albums I've never really, not that I've never got them, I've just never sort of felt like I'm there, which they're meant to make you do. But this is one of the very, very sort of rare rare albums where it does, you do feel like you sort of, if you're in the right mood and listen to it sort of in the right situation, you do feel like you're in space.
Yeah. Oh god.
It's mad. It's
one
great.
of those. Yeah. Like you can like listen to it like with headphones on, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And like as cliche as that sounds, but like be sort of transported into like their world.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's my favorite one. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of performance wise, I think it brings out the best in all of them. It's definitely Brent Hines' best contribution to a Mastodon album, I'd say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's the MVP of the album. His weird vocals are not. He's probably out of the three of them, he pops up the least. But when he does, it's so distinct with his sort of odd nasally voice, and then like you can tell his solos because they're just odd.
Yeah. Isn't it also? I think that album is. I think it might be the first one where Brandon.
Yeah, I was just
vocals.
gonna say that. I think it is. Yeah, I'd have to go back and check, but I don't think he does anything on Blood Mountain that I can remember.
No.
Yeah. First one where he does vocals, but he's pretty much the lead vocalist nowadays, isn't he?
I know. Yeah, which is mad to think.
Yeah. But I love bands that have multiple vocalists. I think it's if you've got it, it's such a cool trick.
I said the Blackout.
Do they have multiple? I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Have two.
Great. That's great.
Really won't appreciate that one. But yeah, Mastodon, one of the best bands ever. I need to see them on their own headlines tour. I know I've said this last time, but I need to see them on their own headline.
Yeah, that's the best place to see them. I think I've probably seen them about 4 or 5 times.
I've only seen them once at Download, and it does my head in because the sound was shit at Download.
Yeah, you got to see them properly.
Yeah. They're definitely one of those. Yeah.
Number 3. Crack the Sky. That for a long time would have been my number 2, but I think I just had to put something else in there for old time's sake. More than
Fair enough. Yeah. What are you going for your favourite song off that one?
Oh, it's the last Baron, the last track.
I have to agree if you're on that one.
Yeah, it's
just fucking off it.
Yeah, it's mad. Goes everywhere.
Yeah, it's incredible. Right, my number 3. You mentioned it as one of your runners up. and also one of your favorite bands, one of your top 5 that was in there, and yeah, this album came out on my birthday. No, not on my birthday, not directly on my birthday, but on the year I was born. The self-titled Rage Against the Machine album.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for me, like an album that is this old that still sounds this fresh today for me. Like if this album came out today, like I'd have believed it. Like I wouldn't have thought I'd be like 30 years old or anything like that. Because while the production on it just still sounds like incredible, like just really fresh and punchy.
Yeah, it's mad to think that was done live.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's just like obviously like all the political stuff that they're writing about and everything. It can kind of be related to like today because it's not like they're pointing the fingers at like a particular like president or party or anything like that. It's just like all the songs are like fucking sick of this fucking country sometimes, but like but for me like it just sounds so raw and so visceral, and I
think what makes it good as well is that even if you weren't listening to the lyrics or you just didn't understand the lyrics,
yeah,
it would still just be a 10 out of 10 album.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
The music, the riffs, and yeah, it's sort of there's not another band that sounds like them really. Never has been, probably never will be.
Yeah, there has been bands that try to, but
yeah, but I think a lot of the time when people mix sort of like rap vocals with like rock music, it's new metal, isn't it? Whereas Rage Against the Machine aren't a new metal band at all.
No, not really.
They're more like a sort of, I think they've got more in common with like garage rock than they have.
Yeah, they have really, to be
new
fair.
metal, really, like that sort of.
Yeah, because I mean, when you listen to Tom Morello as well, like imagine that album coming out and hearing Tom Morello for the first time. Like, what the fuck? How's he doing all that?
He's lost the plot, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like he's insane. Like when you watch all the YouTube videos he does and everything, like and how he plays certain songs, like it's mad that he's come up with that sort of stuff. And he's always said like he's never really thought himself as a guitar player. He's always thought himself as a DJ.
Yeah,
that's how he goes about it. And like not only that, he does stuff like deck scratching sounds or whatever, and all the stuff he does with kill switches on his guitar and octave whammy pedals and everything. He comes up with some mint riffs as well, though.
Oh yeah. He's got very distinct. He's got his very like distinct style with what you just mentioned there, but then his riffs are very distinct. His guitar tone's very distinct as well. It's sort of almost quite clean.
It is, yeah. It's not like the gain's sort of like halfway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I mean, sometimes he uses like Telecasters, like single coil guitars and everything, and just I mean, I remember when I saw him at Download, 2010, it was just like that. Everything was just like so stripped back, and like his guitar setup was literally just like a Marshall amp on its own, and his pedal board and his different guitars. That was it.
Yeah, you've got to be like a special band to have such a sort of stripped back, live style, and people not get bored, especially when you're playing a massive festival. Like just 4 guys on stage, people could quite easily like zone out, couldn't they? But yeah.
Oh, just incredible. Like, I mean, I was listening to it today. I was walking into town on my way to the gym, and I got fucking pumped up, ready for it. I went into CEX before I went to the gym, and I felt like fucking throwing all the shelves out.
Punching a goth.
Yeah, I felt like punching a goth that works behind. Like, get that fucking car machine working now! I want to buy Zelda's Twilight Princess now. And just like if you got it on your headphones and you're just walking about, it's just like, fucking hell, I just feel like punching someone. Not in a bad way, like, but like I wouldn't really do that, obviously.
Nah,
but like you just get fucking pumped after you listen to it, and it's just like I said, like it just sounds so raw, live, visceral, angry, and Zach De La Rocha's, like, for me, like he's just such an underrated like rap artist as well, like Zach De La Rocha like doesn't get spoken of the same way as like a lot of rappers get.
No, I think I know he has done solo stuff, but he's never had a proper go at having a solo career, has he? I think I don't know if he had done. I don't know how popular it would have been, but just
like every now and then, like he'll like pop up somewhere like on the like Run the Jewels albums
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Like you'll hear him, and then it's like, oh my god, there he is, and it sounds incredible. Like the Algiers album that came out last year.
Mm.
That was one of my favorite albums that came out, and like he had a guest spot on it, and just so distinct, and like his flow is just brilliant, and like he just sounds angry when he wants to be, and he can mellow down when he wants to be as well. Like, oh,
Yeah, he's good.
he's got such good control, and as a rhythm section as well.
Oh
Probably
yeah.
one of the best. Like, I mean, Brad Wilkes as a drummer, just solid. Hits the drums hard as fuck, and it's that good that he ended up being on the latest Black Sabbath album, didn't he?
They're like a funk rhythm section, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like funk rock, like. And I apologize if I forgot the name of the bass player.
Timmy C, is it? Tim Comerford, Timmy C.
I think so.
Yeah.
Can't remember. But
Tim Comerford, I think it is.
Yeah, but he's a mint bass player as well.
Yeah,
like,
he
you
is.
know, stuff like Bullet in the Head and all that, and Bomb Track.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Bring that shit in.
Know Your Enemy.
No, not that one. It's third album. Take the Power Back. That's the one. Yeah. Do you remember when they got Christmas number 1?
Yeah, I do. It was class.
I remember. Oh,
I remember it was nice because it was that Joe McElderry, wasn't it? It's
Joe
the most
McElderry.
sickly, horrible.
yeah. Everybody's got to climb that mountain.
Yeah, just yeah, that was good. That, but they tried a few years after, didn't they, with a few other songs as well, and it didn't work as well. But what a crazy thing to happen when you think about it.
It's mad. That would never happen again. Never. And I remember when it was going to happen, I didn't think it was going to happen.
Nah, I thought somebody would do something to block it, or there'd be a way of getting around it, or whatever. But
Yeah, and like they basically, I remember listening to the chart show around about that time because my dad was like, "It might happen, you know."
I remember listening to the actual announcement.
Yeah, I did. That's what I was listening to, and it was like this build up, and like I was just thinking it's not gonna happen, and it was like at number 2, it's Joe, and then I remember I just screamed. I was like, "Oh my god, yes! They've fucking done it! They've fucking done it!" And then like they had like they were doing like a radio interview and everything, and they played the song live, like Killing in the Name of was live, and I remember they did like a live sort of like a live lounge session where they did it like over air, and they were told don't swear, and they're like, okay, no worries, and then they swore.
Do you reckon they just ended up doing that sort of stuff because the sort of radio companies had to have whoever was number 1 at the time on, or do you think there was just like some sort of, not contracts, but like they're number 1 at the minute, so we've got to have them on the show, or do you think it sort of like?
It's probably probably that reason. I can't imagine another reason why they would want to do that,
because it just seemed like it'd be the sort of thing that like companies would just want to sort of sweep under the rug as like, oh god,
yeah,
that's a bit embarrassing that that's happened, but
yeah, it's funny. It's mad as well because like one of the days I was putting the Christmas tree up as well, had the telly on. I think it was like VH1 or whatever, and it was like number 1s over the years.
Yeah,
and then it still had Rage Against the Machine.
I did
on.
that.
Like
Sometimes
2009, I was like, "Fucking come on!"
Sometimes they skip it though, and they just
yeah. It's like it never happened. It never happened. It did fucking happen.
Yeah,
and obviously they played Download after that, and yeah, they are also amazing live. But yeah, they're my favorite album by them for sure.
Oh, it's the best one by a mile. It's,
yeah. Love Evil Empire as well, and Battle of Los Angeles, but like for me, the debut was just a goat.
Yeah, and it has the added bonus of having Maynard on there, so winner.
Incredible.
Cool.
Yeah, my number 3, Rage Against the Machine.
Number 2. So, this album could probably, depending on what day of the week you ask me, it could be a different album by this band. And to be fair, my top 5 could have all been albums by this band as well. So it's Ride the Lightning, Metallica.
Oh, interesting.
I would say for the longest time, it's been my favourite album of theirs. I sort of, as I said, depending on what day of the week you ask me, I'll give you a different answer. But
yeah,
that's probably been the most constant album for me. Not the most musically accomplished album, not the best sounding album in terms of production either. But I think it's just a sort of sweet spot for me. Like Kill 'Em All's great, but that's never going to be number one for me because of how sort of raw it is and how much of a child Hetfield sounds on it.
Yeah.
But it's sort of it's mad that in a year would be a year, wouldn't it? I think 2 years, year and a half maybe. The progressed from sounding like that, which is still a 10 out of 10 album, to Ride the Lightning, where they're experimenting with like ballads and longer songs and like more sort of straight down the middle stompy songs that they went on to perfect and stuff. And it's just sort of got a bit of everything. And it's got Cream and Death on it, so it's got to be number 2.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably my second favorite Metallica album.
Yeah.
Like And Justice for All is my number 1. But yeah, Ride the Lightning. Like before I discovered Injustice for All, Ride the Lightning was my favorite.
Yeah.
Like just I always loved the title track. Like as soon as that intro kicked in, like just
I think it's possibly Kirk Hammett's best album, maybe his best performance, I would say. Yeah, just a banger, in it. It's just
oh god, yeah, just it's just like I think yeah, I probably would say it's my second favorite Metallica album. And like, you know, when they're coming out with stuff like For Whom the Bell Tolls and all that, like you wouldn't expect a band who's just done Kill 'Em All to come out with something like that next. I don't think.
Nah.
You know, Call of Cthulhu as an instrumental makes an instrumental interesting. Like,
yeah, I think I prefer Orion if I was gonna listen to a Metallica instrumental.
All right.
But yeah, it's still that was sort of, they did obviously the bass solo pulling tooth thing on Kill 'Em All, didn't they? But that was like the first time they did the long instrumental on the end of the album, which they did for the next 3.
Yeah. I think possibly Fight Fire with Fight Fire. Fight Fire with Fire.
Yeah.
Might be their best album opener.
Yeah, it's probably their like most sort of aggressive song as well, isn't it? Sort of
like it's just
in your face.
that very, very soft picked acoustic guitar, and then just fading into like the guitar starting and straight to and then the cymbal chokes from Lars already like oh, fucking hell. Oh, so good. There's no bad track on that album for me. You know, freaking Trapped Under Ice, fucking obviously Creeping Death, as you mentioned earlier on, Home the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black. Yeah, everything on that album rips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the most out and out 80s sounding album as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the sort of production and tone of it, very, very 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right about them sort of, because I think like Master of Puppets has sort of perfected their thrash sound, haven't they, really? Like, if you look at it sort of objectively, like with Ride the Lightning, it's like the just about to hit that ceiling
it's
of
still
like, perfection.
It's still
like,
got that sort of scrappy element to it that Master of Puppets doesn't have, because that's so clinical and so like everything's pretty much perfect on that album, like to the note. Whereas Ride the Lightning probably does have its imperfections, and it's it's a great album. Very good,
very, very good shout. My number 2 comes from a band that I've talked about on my top 5 favorite bands as well. For me,
see, I'm confused now because I think you've got 3 albums left that I was certain would be your top 3, but you've not got one at all, and you've not even mentioned it. So go on in.
Crikey. So yeah, one of my favorite bands ever. I've seen them God knows how many times. I discovered them on this album as well. When the album came out, I played it. I remember I had an iPod Shuffle back in the day, and when you plugged it in your PC, it would tell you how many times you played it. I played the album about 200 times when it came out. Lost Forever, Lost Together by Architects.
Yeah, I thought that'd be in.
Yeah, for me, probably my favourite metal album of all time. It's incredible. I've talked about Architects loads on the podcast and everything, and I spunked all over them in the top 5 band episode we did last time, so I'll keep it brief. But like, yeah, Lost Forever, Lost Together, like, note to self, Bad Omens, I Prevail, You Lot.
Yeah.
That's how you make a metalcore album sound.
Yeah.
Don't fucking shave the sharp edges off your guitar tone off. Just thrash. Like for me, like as one of these sort of like metalcore tech metal albums, like it sounds like really, really loud and so like sharp for me.
Yeah, I'd say it's a sweet spot for them. Sort of first what they've got loads of albums. Like, is this their like 6th album probably?
Probably. You had Nightmares, Ruin.
I don't know anything about the first 2.
Yeah,
really.
wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
Hollow Crown.
Yeah. They did that weird one, didn't they, with the map on it?
Yeah, Daybreaker. No, that's not Daybreaker. Hit the Here and Now. Sorry.
Yeah, and then
Daybreaker. Yeah,
so
that's the 6th album. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the first sort of 6 albums to me, they're probably sort of really trying to find the sound, and then this is definitely
perfected it.
Yeah, I'd say it would be my favorite album by Architects as well.
Yeah, for sure. And like seeing them back then, when God bless them, Tom Sell was still alive, on them tours, they were like, I mean, obviously a lot more now. If you go see them live now these days, they're a bit more professional with the live setup and everything, and everything's like in time, like timed well and all that to like the clicks and stuff. But like they still play everything live with all the synths and stuff. But like, whereas like back then it was just like, they had like the guitars and cabs and everything playing this sort of shit live properly, and and like this album, like the first time I heard it, like I remember hearing Gravedigger for the first time, and just being like, what? And then Naysayer, and then being like, what?
Yeah, I think Naysayer is the best song.
Like Cancer as well. Just like by the end of the album, like it's just one of those, like another album that I have to listen to front to back all the time. Like if someone puts like Gravedigger on, I'm like, okay, so is Naysayer next then? But like, yeah, seeing them live, like back then, and they still are amazing now, obviously, live. But like, for back then, the microphone standard's fucking falling on you, isn't it?
It's all right. I think I've got it.
There we go. But yeah, for me, it's just Architects to perfection. Like every song, just 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
So I think this was like the first time we were hearing Sam Carter's vocals being like using the way that he does now, like where he sort of like screaming, but like pitched screaming,
deceptively high, isn't it? His voice?
Yeah, that's when all the metalcore vocalists were like, oh, maybe I should do that.
Yeah. It's like Sempiternal in that way, that it was like the still bands trying to sound like that and not doing it half as good. And was this the first metalcore album to use that sort of mandala pattern on the album cover as well? Well, no, actually,
probably
Sempiternal didn't they? So
true.
Maybe
yeah, that's it. Sempiternal and Lost Forever.
Yeah,
it's them albums, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, incredible album.
Yeah, man,
incredible band. I think I was gonna say Tom Sell's Swan Song, but no, he did it. I just realised he did All Our Gods of a Band or something like that as well.
Yeah.
But like for me, my favourite song on the album, Broken Cross, like otherworldly, like heavily brilliant. Like they managed to sound like there's parts in this album where they managed to sound like Meshuggah as well.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, you can hear that in the sound, can't
you?
Yeah. Broken Cross probably got the best bleh in it as well, hasn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Love a good bleh from them, don't we? But yeah, I'll just leave it at that because I've gone on about Architects that much.
Yeah. I think I called that one right.
Fair enough. To be fair, I might have just gone on about that album on that top 5 band one we did. So yeah, what an album.
Yeah,
amazing. Go on then, give us Human Clay by Creed.
I forgot about that.
Oh, that's it. You're gonna have to do your list again now.
So it's sort of probably quite an obvious choice for someone who's into rock music, but I just think it is probably the best album ever. It's Appetite for Destruction.
Fair enough. I wasn't expecting this to be in your 5 at all.
Oh no, it's always been my favourite album since I've sort of started taking an interest in rock music. I think they're one of the one in bands that you like. They're one of the first bands that you come across, aren't they? If you're sort of just trying to figure your way around like rock and metal and stuff.
Guitar music in general, really. Yeah. Like,
and it's sort of, it's, for that style of music, sort of like bluesy classic rock, I've always tried to find something that is anywhere close to this album, and I just don't think there's anything comes near to it. And I think one of the main reasons that it sounds the way it does and it's so sort of special is because it's 5 completely different people, all into very different music, sort of come together to make just like an absolute melting pot of good stuff.
Just proper full on raw in your face like hard rock.
Yeah, so like Slash like this like bluesy rock like Aerosmith and stuff, didn't he? And Duff was he was a hell of a punk, like into like sort of like New York, DC punk and stuff like that. And I think Steve Adler was a bit more sort of glam rock orientated. Izzy Stradlin was your Rolling Stones type cool dude, and then Axl Rose was into like
KFC.
not then. He was in great shape then, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, yeah, to be fair.
Into stuff like, I guess, like Elton John and more theatrical kind of stuff.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
He obviously went on to do to a greater extent.
Yeah, you know what? I never even thought about that, actually, to be fair, when you look at them all individually.
Oh, yeah, that's sort of like, I've always thought that about it. And like reading Slash's autobiography, he sort of makes that point as well. It's just, yeah, I've been listening to rock music for 15, 20 years now, and I just don't think there's anything that comes close. Led Zeppelin 1 to 4, just great, but doesn't come close. Any AC/DC album doesn't touch it.
Yeah.
Aerosmith got some great albums, but nothing is on that level for me. I just think it's perfect. Like, it's so rough and raw sounding, but the songs are so sort of crafted, and yeah, I don't think there's a bad song in it. I think people sort of say that Anything Goes would be the dud on it, but even I don't think that's a
for me, like, Appetite of Destruction sounds like an album where they've all just gone in the studio and just went, let's see what we can come out with this.
Yeah,
like, for me, it doesn't seem like an album that they've overcompensated on, like, with the writing or anything like that. Like, for me, it's just one of those. It just sounds like, oh, we booked the studio.
Yeah,
let's see what we can come out with.
It's 5 scruffy lads who met in Los Angeles and saw what they could come up with, I guess. Yeah.
Is it their debut?
First album, yeah.
Fucking mad.
Yeah.
Absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for some reason, I was thinking it was something like Guns N' Roses Lies or Spaghetti.
No, Lies came just after it. So, I think it was maybe 2 years after it. Lies came out, and then Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 after that, and then Spaghetti Incident was the last thing they did as a sort of core members, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just every from about it's brilliant. I think it's sort of the only thing for me now is it's the big songs off it have crossed into sort of I don't need to hear it ever again territory. So like Paradise City and Welcome to the Jungle and Sweet Child of Man.
Yeah,
probably don't need to hear them.
No, of course
anytime soon or ever again. But like,
if you play the album, like you don't mind so much, do you?
Yeah.
Like if you purposely sticking the album on, you don't mind having them on in the background.
No.
But like if you're at a fucking disco and then Sweet Child of Man comes on, it's like, for fuck's sakes.
Disco.
Yeah. Like, just I don't know. You got some friggin'.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Some random wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
And then play that. Oh, great.
Yeah.
But
I think it's so like it captures the sort of time and location that it was. So it's like mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
When like glam and stuff was popping up, but then this isn't that, but it's sort of like a sort of a counter to that, and then it's very LA sounding, isn't it? Very sort of West Coast America, sun-kissed sounding album as well. Yeah,
definitely. It's like sort of like the opposite of what I was saying about Rage Against the Machine. Like, you listen to it and you know that is where it is from. Like, you think, oh, this sounds like a band from LA.
I don't know.
it
I'd
sounds
say
like-
I'd say Rage Against the Machine is very LA orientated as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, but like I think like more so with Guns N' Roses. But like, at least you listen to it and you think, yeah, it's from the mid to late 80s
Yeah.
sound in it. But yeah, still sounds raw, timeless, brilliant. Yeah, you saw them at Download, didn't you? When the 3 hour gig that they
I
did.
saw him then. I saw him
Yeah.
just before, maybe a year before at London
Oh, right.
Stadium.
Yeah.
That was better than the Download show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I only saw them at Download, and like
Wasn't
I
great.
actually loved them at Download.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't as good as that London show, but even then, I still sort of don't really think I've seen Guns N' Roses. I know it's
Oh, no, yeah.
it billed as Guns N' Roses, but it's not. There's like 3 too many people on the stage. Why that band should just be 5 people.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, to be fair, like I've seen them at Download now, and like I feel like they did really, really well at Download. Like I absolutely loved them. Like probably one of my top 5 Download sets, I'd say. And I just thought this was really, really great. I loved seeing like Duff Slash and Axl together. I don't think I need to see it again.
Nah,
Yeah.
when
So I feel like if I did see it again, it might spoil it a bit.
it feels a bit sterile now. I think it feels a bit like
Yeah.
a nostalgia tour now.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
they're not really working on anything other. I mean, I think they brought like a few
They
songs.
just brought a song out yesterday, I think.
Did they?
I'm sure they did.
I haven't seen any fucking thingy about it.
I wouldn't bother.
No.
Oh.
And that's
I
it, like,
wouldn't bother.
and that's it, like,
The Gen. Oh no, that came out in December. They must have just brought the video out for it yesterday, maybe.
oh, right.
No, I think Guns N' Roses is one of them things where it's sort of sacred and it's to its time and leave it alone now.
Yeah, I mean, prime example, when I saw Black Sabbath at Download 2012, that was like another one of the best sets I've ever seen. at
Brilliant.
Download. That was so fucking incredible. And I wish I left it at that because I saw them again at 2016 when
Yeah,
it was shitting it down with rain.
I saw
And
them
it wasn't
in
as good. And I remember just being like, I kind of wish I just like,
Yeah,
it kind of spoilt it a little bit.
yeah, I was the same. I think I saw them maybe another 2 times on top. I tell you what, I saw them in Madison Square Garden when I was in New York, and that was
Just round the
amazing.
corner from you, yeah.
That was unreal. that was possibly as good or better than the Download show. It was insane.
Yeah, that's mad, that.
But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, Appetite for Destruction is the best album of all time.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good shout, that one. You a fan of the Use Your Illusion albums?
Yeah, I really like them. I don't agree that they could be condensed into one album either. I think they're both.
Yeah,
Pretty-
people who say
pretty
that can get fucked.
Nah, the class.
Yeah.
And I think probably prefer Slash's guitar tone on the Use Your Illusion albums. It's wild.
I might have to re-listen. It's been a while since I re-listened to that. I listened to it, to be fair.
Yeah, it's
Compare the two.
No, I really rate those albums as well.
Yeah. Even Chinese Democracy.
Yeah, I
I
like it.
even like that.
Yeah, I like it.
Hated it when it came out, but when I came back to it, I was like, some fucking mid songs on
Yeah,
this.
there is some great.
But yeah, anyways, enough about GNR. So my favourite album of all time, this has been number 1 for years and years and years and years and years, to be honest. And yeah, it comes from a band that I'll never ever see, ever. And one of those bands that introduced me into prog, the idea of concept albums, and just wizard musicianry in general. But
Wizard.
Wizard? But like, you know what I mean, guitar wizardry. You know, just coming up with like mad shit. But yeah, The Wall by Pink Floyd. That is my favourite album by them. I generally never know where to start when I want to talk about The Wall, because it's this album that's, I guess I'll start by saying like it's Roger Waters' work, like, and it's like written about his life and everything, and he's got like this ongoing concept, but each time you listen to it, you take something different away from it, like different meanings and like some different metaphors from each songs. Like you think like, oh, this means that, and then you come back to it. Oh, actually, no, it might mean this.
Yeah.
It's a mental album. It's obviously it's a double album. It's about an hour and 20, I think.
Yeah.
It always goes by really, really quick for me. It's just a really mad, complex album. Like that was like, for me, that was like the beginning of concept albums. Like tracks fading from one to another.
Yeah.
And loads of them having different parts and all that. It's very varied. Every song is just like completely different on its own. It's got its own unique quality. If it's 11 out of 10 masterpiece for me.
Yeah, do you know, I haven't listened to it in it must be a good 10 years. I haven't listened to it. I always preferred like Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals run, but yeah, I really need to go back and listen to it. It probably has been about 10 years since I listened to it.
Yeah.
I think it's a very, very British sounding album, isn't it? Very
it is, very, very much so.
Britain in the 70s, a bit of a grim vibe to it, and
it is, yeah, and like, well, I mean, a lot of it goes over like his parents and all that, like during the war and all that, and, like especially his dad, that sort of thing. It goes on about that relationship, and some of it sounds so bleak as well. Some of the album does sound like really bleak, and some of them just sound incredibly light, like Mother and I forget what the other one. I forget one of the tracks is called. My favorite album. I forgot the fucking track names.
Yeah, but it's probably about 30
like Virulent and all. But you know, just like some of them are just so iconic as well. Like you know, Another Brick in the Wall. That was like one of those songs for me. Like just getting into guitar. And funny enough, like the first time I discovered this album was I was just starting guitar, and my uncle introduced me to this album by showing me the fucking movie.
Oh yeah,
I've
never seen that
movie. And I was like 12, 13. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
I mean, he showed me it, like basically just saying Dave Gilmour's the best guitar player ever and all that. And I was more listening to like his solo work and everything on the album, and like it is for me like one of my favorite guitar albums ever. Like Dave Gilmour's my favorite guitar player.
Yeah.
Like for someone who plays guitar solos that aren't like, you know, widdly diddly fast friggin' all over the place sweeping or anything, like he's one of the most emotive guitar players that I think I've ever heard. Like it just the way he sort of, as cliche as it sounds, like makes his guitar like saw and sing.
Yeah, he's a very, very distinct guitarist, isn't he? Very
like if he ever does a solo tour, I'm going. Like like I did the same thing with Roger Waters, like, but with, I think more so with Dave Gilmour. If he ever does like a solo tour doing Pink Floyd stuff, I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, like like from the intro into the Flesh, if so grandiose and like with a massive riff, and like you were saying about like Crack the Sky, where there's certain parts of songs there where it repeats itself in another song later on. I love that. Like there's like another Into the Flesh, like there's a part 2 of Into the Flesh where it's like it's just got a different lyrical narrative to it. Like it's just so cleverly done.
Yeah. I definitely need to go back to it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's hard to put the album into words. I mean, you know, an album like Appetite for Destruction, it's easy to like say this is what it sounds like, this is how it is.
Yeah,
whereas The Wall is like, where the fuck do I start?
It's got a very different #1 album, haven't we?
Yeah, we have definitely.
Either end of the spectrum, pretty much. But
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Is this the album that has the you can't have any pudding if you then eat your meat on it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Yeah.
It's at the end of Another Brick in the Wall, part 2. I believe.
Yeah, I always remember that bit.
Yeah, like well, I remember when I saw Roger Waters, he opened up with Comfortably Numb.
Nice.
But it was more of like a mellow, down-tuned sort of version with no guitar solo, which at the time I was a bit like, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But then after that, he went straight into Happiest Days of Our Lives, which is like the other Brick in the Wall part 1 like bit. Because he did all 3 in a row. As soon as he started off with that, I was like, yeah, stand still, laddie. Then into like Another Brick in the Wall, I fucking started crying. But that's basically why I wanted to see Roger Waters, was to hear those songs live.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a fuck about solo stuff. But to be fair, the solo stuff was actually quite good.
I don't know if
But like finally hearing them live was just like, oh my god! Like I've been saving for this moment for years and years and years, decades even.
Was that their last album with Roger Waters?
I don't think so. I think it might be the one after The Wall. It might have been the last album with him.
A Momentary Lapse of Reason, but I don't know if that was an album, was it? Was that? That's a remixes album. And then there's
I think it is because I don't think it was on Division Bell.
No, he's not.
No, he's not on that one.
There's the final cut, but again, I don't think that's a.
No, I think he is on the final cut.
Is that an album? Is that an album or is it like a compilation?
No, it's an
It's
an album, yeah. Or is it Echoes?
No, Echoes is quite early.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, yeah, yeah. No, Final Cut. Yeah, he is on because I remember when I saw him that he did a song off Final Cut.
Sorry, Echoes. No, I'm thinking of Metal.
Yeah,
What
I
is
think
Echoes?
I think Echoes is on Metal actually. Come to think of it. Well, yeah, goddamn, it's an album that, like I say, another one of those I can only listen to front to back. Like as well as that, like all the artwork that surrounds it and everything.
Yeah,
really weird off-it artwork.
It is
goes
cool,
on.
isn't it?
Yeah, the movie's just fucking weird though. It's not something that I could just. It's one that I put on like once in the blue moon. Like it's just it's very weird. I think the film itself hasn't really aged particularly well. It's a bit weird, but what's his name is in it as well. What's his name? Friggin' Live 8 bloke.
Bob Geldof.
Bob Geldof, yeah, he acts
Is
in
he?
it. Yeah, he's a main actor in it. He plays Pink, like
Right.
the actor in it.
I know absolutely nothing. I know I know it exists. I don't know
Oh,
anything
yeah,
about
it's,
it. I've never gone out my way to watch
It's
it.
very, very weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like watching the movie as well. That's similar to listening to the album. Like you take something different away from it every time you watch it,
Yeah.
and it's like, does this mean this? Does that mean that?
Mm.
Why is he dressed as a Nazi? Oh, it's a metaphor. Oh, it's yeah, like there's stuff like that, and like there's so many people who've taken it out of context and all that. They're like, Roger Waters is a Nazi. I was like, you don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Stay away from all that, I think.
yeah. I mean, he definitely isn't like.
No,
for
not
sure.
at all.
Like,
I think he's quite the opposite, isn't he? Really.
very much so. Like, yeah, he's lefty as they go, big time. But
I will listen to it tomorrow.
fair enough. Let me know how you feel as a man of 30 years of age. Yeah, but yeah, it was one of those albums. Like I listened to it years and years and years ago. It took me a while to probably love it because I to be fair, I actually loved Dark Side of the Moon more. Like when I first started liking Pink Floyd, but like The Wall just like slowly just sort of like seeped its way in for me.
Yeah, I definitely do prefer that era more. It's more sort of warm sounding, isn't it? And a bit.
Yeah. Whereas The Wall is just cold as fuck
Yeah.
at times. Yeah. Like and like obviously like the whole ending as well, like where it just gets like really operatic and like grandiose, and like the whole tear down the wall part, and then like you hear the wall go down, and then like the very, very end bit like is the beginning of the first track. And it's kind of like, because you know it's about Roger Waters building like this wall, like building like this metaphorical wall around him, and like, you know, isolating himself from everybody, and like just being, you know, caught in all this anxiety and all sorts, and just then eventually sort of trying to come away from that, tearing down the wall, and then like it kind of repeats itself like afterwards. It's it's an insane listen. Like it's not one like, if you're getting into Pink Floyd, why don't you try The Wall? Like
Yeah.
but it's I might fucking listen to it after this, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Cool. I think that's a very worthy number one, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, definitely. My favorite song as well, "Comfortably Numb." Like, I could go with anyone else, but like it would be hard for me to argue anything other than "Comfortably Numb." I know that's like the big song from that album. Like
yeah, but sometimes the big song is the big song for a reason. Isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the guitar solo, the best guitar solo of all time, in my opinion. Just if I ever see Dave Gilmour live and he plays "Comfortably Numb" properly, because I've kind of felt it when I saw Roger Waters do it in that weird, different, moody way. I was like, oh my god, it's "Comfortably Numb." But I feel like if I saw Dave Gilmour live do "Comfortably Numb," I think I'd be a mess. I think I'd be an absolute mess. Yeah, what an album. Incredible.
Nice.
So yeah, do you want to share with your 5 once again?
Yeah, we'll see how well our guesses went. So,
Oh yeah, guesses. Fucking hell. Right, okay. Do you want to go first?
so my top 5 for you. I thought at 5 you'd have Injustice for All, because I know you're That's probably your favourite Metallica album. I think you said that, didn't you?
Yes.
So I got that wrong. I've got the Downward Spiral at 4, which I think was bang
Just
on,
one
right?
away.
Oh, was it?
That was my number 5.
Oh, was
that
it?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, which I can't believe you haven't got in there.
Oh, no, I'm Power Slave, me.
Oh, yeah.
Power
Oh,
Slave.
okay, fair enough.
Through and through. I mean, yeah, Seventh Son's like my second favourite Maiden album.
I think it's the best one.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that, but for me, Power Slave, it's got fucking Rime of the Ancient Mariner on it. And Power Slave, the title track.
Yeah.
Incredible album.
Oh, well, either way, I thought there might be an Iron
Fair
Maiden
shout,
album
though. Fair shout.
in there. Architects, I got right. And The
Yeah.
Wall, number 1. I'm pretty sure I've heard you say that before, so.
Fair enough. Well done.
Yeah, so 3 out of.
So, for me, I put The Blackening by Machine Head as your number 5.
Yeah.
Got Crack the Sky as your number 4.
It was 3, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah. 3, I went with Rain and Blood by Slayer.
Nah. It's class, isn't it? But it's probably
Yeah.
not even my favourite Slayer album, actually.
To be honest, I was struggling. I was like, Rain and Blood? Number 2, I went for Lateralis by Tool.
Yeah, I mean, probably a Tool album should have been number 5, but I just wanted
If
to have that.
If you'd have probably listened to it on the way here, you probably would have went. top
Yeah,
5.
I just wanted that sort of curveball with a newer band in there at 5, so.
Not fair. And I put Master of Puppets number 1.
Yeah, no, it's always been Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I would have never have guessed Appetite of Destruction, to be fair, because I don't think we've ever spoke about Guns N' Roses.
No, it's just, I suppose it's just one of the ones that I've listened to that much when I was young. I don't listen to it as much now, so it's not really, I don't think about it as much, but it'll always be my favourite album just because of the impression it had on me as a youth.
There you go.
Cool.
Very good list. Well, yeah, that's it. That's our top 5 favourite albums.
Whose was better?
Yeah. Whose is better? Yeah. Comment in the YouTubes and all that. There's a poll in Spotify. I think you got the 100% vote, to be fair.
Last time.
Yeah, last time. Yeah, I think because I put whose list was better on the top 5 bands and you won.
Yeah.
There was only one person who voted for it.
Was it me?
Might have been Haley, just to piss me off. But I don't know actually. But yeah, comment whose was better. Post in the Spotify vote thing. Post in the vote? No. Vote in the poll. That's what I meant to say. Fucking hell. But yeah. Thank you for coming on, good sir.
It's alright.
We'll do this again another time, and probably get an EP done as well.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of nearly done. I just need to write some fucking lyrics. There we go. I've got it recorded now. I have to do it. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming on, mate.
Alright, no bother.
Yeah,
I always like to chat.
We'll do this again another time. Top 5 favourite.
Riffs. I think Riffs is a good one because that's sort of.
Oh yeah. We should do that. Top 5 favourite riffs.
It would take me about a year to settle on that, but yeah.
Yeah. And then the one after that, the best top 5 spin kick breakdowns, and then then after that, top 5 drum fills. Nah, that'll be shit. That one. Top 5 bass intros. Seinfeld number 1.
Don't even know it. Never watched it.
To be fair, neither have I. I just know the bass intro. Anyways, that'll do. Thanks everyone. See you later. Bye. And there we have it. Thank you very much, Jake, for being back on the podcast. I'm sure he'll be back sooner rather than later. See what other lists we can come up with. But yeah, always good to have Jake back on the podcast. So yeah, thanks again for Jake for coming back on. Really, really appreciate it. So I'll be back next Friday, of course. And yeah, don't forget, I'll be... Oh, don't forget, I haven't even mentioned it yet. I will be on Twitch. Let me just have a look on Thursday. Thursday coming up, so the 1st of February, I'll be on Twitch. When will it be? 2 o'clock during the day. So we might write some cool jams again. And last one was really, really good. I just did a guitar stream, a guitar practice one, and it was awesome. So thanks very much everyone who was a part for that. And yeah, we're going to be back on Twitch on Thursday, the 1st of February. So hopefully I'll see you there. And of course, I'll be back next Friday as well with the podcast. So looking forward to seeing you all then. Do take care. Much love. Thanks very much for listening again. Shout out to you all for the past 30 episodes. You've all been great. And thanks for taking part. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Love you. Bye.